Peggy 16.
Peggy 16.
Micha the Kind spoke of the beginning. The seduction and the betrayal. An affair from which gold arose.
Dude, this right here. Do you guys want to pause it and talk about it a little bit, or do we just want to watch? Let's watch it all the way through.
And so too was Shadow born. What followed was a war unseen. One that could never be put to song. A purge without grace.
It's about you. I know. It was so funny.
The tyranny of Mesmer's flame.
I'm in there. Honestly, it fucking costs a lot of money to get it in the fucking trailer. Hopefully we get more traffic because of it.
And so kindly Micha would abandon
Kindly
everything.
Micha, dude.
His golden flesh, his blinding strength, even his fate. But we are not deterred. We choose to follow.
It does. Dude, it's crazy, Kata. It's crazy, dude. It's us. Well, I actually don't think it's us, kind of. Kind of. Okay. Okay. One more time. I don't want to spend too much time because I want to get a whole run in.
Peggy 16.
Micha the Kind spoke of
So Micha the Kind.
the beginning.
Spoke of the beginning.
The seduction and the betrayal.
So he spoke of the beginning, the seduction, and the betrayal. The beginning has to be when America becomes a god, and the Golden Order is kind of founded, right? And so there's something I've been thinking about quite a bit, actually. If you look here, this is what the Elden Ring looks like, kind of like, right now, right? It's this kind of gold structure, right? But it wouldn't have always been that, right? It happens to be gold because of the runes that were selected and the way that they were put together. No, but Micha is just talking about the beginning. This is Elden Ring, Kata. It is very questionable. So this first bit here, watch the steps, watch the thing. So it's supposed to kind of look like birth. Yeah, let's hear the line again.
Micha the Kind. Micha the Kind spoke of the beginning. The seduction and the betrayal.
The beginning, the seduction, and the betrayal. See, we definitely don't know whose hand that is yet. We definitely do not know. We're supposed to think it's Michela's. It's not Mesmer's. Mesmer's hand is way bigger than that. I think this is Marika's hand. And it's showing us the beginning.
Beginning.
The seduction, yeah, the betrayal, exactly. And so I think this is Marika reaching in, right? Reaching in here. Whatever this is. That's what I'm saying.
Seduction.
So Mesmer has the bracelet. Mesmer is a new boss in the coming DLC, who looks like this. This guy. Now I'm like, wait, does he have that bracelet? That same bracelet? Yeah, those are Marika's bracelets. Yeah, they're Marika's because Marika looks like this and she's always wearing them. See? Oh, wait, hold on. I lost it. See, she's always got them here. Yeah. So the report this item to Etsy. Too sexy. Dude, Marika's always like this. She's always got these big ass titties, dude. Pretty figure, dude. Pretty figure. I don't know what these are. First model that I don't have to clean up before I get to work on it. I don't know what the fuck that means. Anyways, this is Marika. This is Marika's, right? This is definitely Marika reaching in to this and pulling out strands of gold. Strands of gold. So she reaches in to this, which is supposed to look like a vagina, of course, right? But what it really is kind of unclear. I want to say that it's something outer gaudy, right? So watch the rest of it. So she reaches in, she pulls out this golden strand of hair. Whatever this is something having to do with the needle, the golden needle. I thought that too originally. I'm not sold on that yet. But then watch. She walks up these steps. So this is her with her cloak. I don't know if you've actually seen or really seen Marika as she's kind of up like this. Let me see if I can get a good big picture of it. Here we go. So you can see her cloak goes down forever. Plin plon, dude. So her, like, if you see her hanging, this is fan art version. Let me find, let me just go to images here. It's something like that, Falcon. It's something like that. I want to find, the big picture for some reason. Okay, this is a pretty good one. Here, let's look at this one. This is the back of a phone case, but you see how long her dress is? It always looks like this, dude. It always looks like this. I don't give a shit about that. This kind of long dress, it's always like this. See, you can see her legs, you can see this. She's always got her things on, right? And so she's walking up what looks like the inside of vaginal walls to me, the kind of ribbed walls. And so I think that she's supposed to be going inside of the greater will and pulling out something, right? Yeah, so her clothes are the things that kind of veil us to be able to not see into the realm of shadows, into the land of shadows. And so she's walking up, right? She's walking up this here. Let me turn on the CCTV. She's walking up this kind of stairway of guts and blood.
A fair from which gold arose.
So there's a betrayal. There's a seduction. And what arises from this betrayal and this seduction, Micha says, is gold. The Golden Order comes from this, right? The beginning of the Golden Order comes from this. Is this whatever this gold is that comes out of it? But I think that this is the golden thread that I know, Smokey. We're gonna get there. It's like my favorite part of the trailer. This here is for sure supposed to look like a rune arc, but it's the thread that ties together everything in the Elden Ring. See all the thread that holds the different runes together? And so the shattering of the Elden Ring we're gonna get a sense of what it really would mean to shatter it. Because the shattering is an interesting term that's used in multiple aspects, right? Because there's the shattering is the war, but the Elden Ring itself becomes disentangled, right? And so it's a question of what does it mean to shatter the laws of a universe such that kind of war ensues, right? Such that war, exactly. That's right. And Marika's veil is the same thing in game and these kinds of things, right? So here she kind of walks out of this, and it feels like a kind of like Jonah and the whale type beat. No, go crazy. Oh shit, sorry. Myself. Feels like a Jonah and the whale type thing. I went death, dude. And so she's walking out of this, but this is clearly a giant living thing. Clearly, right? Whatever this is a giant living thing. The OST is fucking sweet, dude. And so whatever it is, right? So check it out. So Micha says,
Micha the Kind spoke of the beginning.
So that was my first thought too, Frank. That was my first thought too. And so the slaying a god thing is critical. It's critical. And definitely this is but I think that it's the inside of a god that she slayed from the inside out and reaches in, because I think it's a Bloodborne theme. It's not Micha speaking. It's for sure not Micha speaking. The person who's speaking is talking about something that Micha said. We don't know this person yet. We haven't heard this voice before. Yeah. It's not Ronnie. What's up, Shabara? Here, I'm gonna put the So this is something I thought of a little bit. We do know this. There are a few fights that we know of, right? There are a few fights that we know of. Is it the same as the original game trailer? Let's listen. Let's watch the original.
Peggy 16.
Driven to the brink.
So that's what I think too, Frank. That's what I think too. I think that we're about to learn that actually, so the godskins come from this chick called or whatever. She's called the Glowmide Queen, and she wraps them in the skin of gods as babies and trains them because they have an innate use of the black flame, and the black flame is a god killer. And so Marika seals the rune of death in Malekith in order to prevent the godskins, the apostles and the nobles, from killing the rest of her children, because we know that there were many of Marika's children. So we don't know who the Glowmide Queen is. Many people have lots of ideas, but we don't know. And so the Glowmide Queen stands in contrast to Marika, who is the Queen Eternal. And the Glowmide Queen is not an Empyrean, because she doesn't stand in line to inherit the lands between as a god. But let's listen to the voice real quick and see if it's Ronnie. She's definitely much deeper. It's definitely
The
Lobo.
shattering ensued, a war that wrought.
So look, the shattering ensued, a war that wrought only darkness. Right? So the idea of the like, we don't want to spend too much time
Age ago.
on this. This is Ronnie. Yeah, this is Ronnie. We know for sure.
But when I recall, I see it true. On a night of wintry fog,
It's not. It's not Ronnie. It's not Ronnie.
Seduction.
It's not Ronnie,
And the
for sure.
betrayal.
So Micha tells whoever this is about seduction and betrayal, right? Maybe we just do this, and then we do boss practice, and we do a run tomorrow, because if we go much longer, I'm not going to be able to make a whole run happen. Although, we'll see. It's the person from the end of the most recent trailer. It does kind of sound like Melina, but it's not Melina.
Traveler from beyond the fog.
See, she's got a higher tone. It's like up here. From beyond the fog. It's like up here, but this is deeper.
Spoke of the beginning.
It's a new female character. It's a new it's like it's not even close. Like
The seduction.
the seduction, it's got a kind of Scottish almost. It doesn't have the high British that comes along with Melina and Ronnie.
I am Melina.
Strength. It does kind of sound like Eileen. I would almost wager that it's the voice actor who did Eileen. That was my
And
first
the
thought.
betrayal.
Someone say Scottish. It sounds a little bit like Renala, but Renala also has this my sweeting. It's really specific.
I'll soon birth thee anew,
I'll soon birth thee anew.
a sweeting, fresh and pure.
But this,
Mind spoke of the beginning.
it's very particular. It's from a different region of Europe. It's from a different region. We haven't heard anybody talk like this, as far as I know, in all of Elden Ring. Naomi McDonald, sure. Oh yeah, she'll be here. She'll be here.
Foul tarnished, in search of the Elden Ring, emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Would you like to be held, regardless? Huh?
I think this is her.
Meeting you has been a rare gift that I shall never forget.
It's not Melania. It's not Melania. It's not Melania.
Corpse after corpse
Wait.
left in my wake.
This is the closest.
My flesh was dull gold, and my blood rotted. Corpse after corpse left in my wake. As I awaited,
It doesn't have the same accent. I would have loved this to be Melania, dude. I would have loved this to be Melania. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna clip it. We're gonna clip this tonight, McFly, and we're just gonna chop it and we're just gonna put it on YouTube because I want to put some of this out. So the just phase 3 Melania. I think we're gonna get a 4-phase boss for the first time in the DLC. I think we're gonna get a boss that's a single boss that becomes a duo boss. That you kill one, you fight the other, Ornstein and Smo style, and then when you kill it, it becomes a dual boss that's different depending on which order you kill it. That's my guess. That's my guess. That was the closest though. That was the closest. Okay, let's move through this a little bit more. Okay, so this is for sure Marika, no question, right? There's no question that this is Marika. Whatever she's reaching into here, she's pulling out these kinds of strands, right? These strands of kind of golden hair, right? And it's a really weird thing to pull out.
Seduction.
And then when she lifts them up, the wind kind of blows and gusts as though it's like it's this new order. But if we really kind of can I scroll in here? I can't a little bit. You can see this is ribbed and sewn like the godskin. It looks almost exactly like the godskin. Like this here, this is almost for sure godskin. So this is what I'm thinking, Saboki. I'm thinking, you think it's going to be a big DS3 callback where Mesmer is a 3-phase boss, and the final phase is the arena opening up and him riding a dragon? Oh, that could be interesting. That could be interesting. And so the idea of it being the hair of Mikola, I think so. So the question is, so we don't know much about the Formless Mother, right? Is that who you're thinking of, Smoker? And so I think it has incredible Bloodborne themes here. I think we're going to get a really intense femininity. I would love if they just give us Gascoigne. I think we're going to get really intense femininity, like really intense femininity. I think we're going to see something really special go down. But I think that whatever's in here, right, is kind of the Golden Order. The thread for the Golden Order is inside this.
And the betrayal.
Okay, so this looks like, I kind of want to open up Photoshop and I want to make it like lighter so I can see better. But this looks like bones, doesn't it?
An affair from which gold arose.
So there's an affair, right? So there's a betrayal and then a coming together. And so the question is whoever's talking, are they saying that Mikola's telling the story of the fall of Rennala? I also do, Saboki. Are they saying that it's the fall of Rennala when Radagon comes back and marries Marika? But that can't be right because the Golden Order had been around longer than that, right? With Godfrey, first Elden Lord, right? And so whatever they're talking about is the kind of coming together, right? And so we've got these reaching hands. If you look, there's a bunch of like reaching hands out on this side and out over here. So that's what I think too, Smoker. All right, Moobs. And so you can see her hair here kind of blowing. This is for sure Marika to me, and I'll tell you why in a second. But let's watch for a second. This is what I think. But I don't know if it's a battle against Mesmer. I actually think that Mesmer is a favored child. Could it not be the seduction of the Golden Order to Marika if she comes from out with? Oh, that's interesting. So it's Marika betraying the Newman, and I think he's a favored child. Actually, I think he's doing a great service to Marika by keeping things under wrap, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. It could be that. Yeah. It could be that, Falcon. It could be that. The Newman is the race that of people that Marika is and comes from. That's like one of the classes, one of the races you can pick in game is the Newman, and the Newman come from the Eternal Cities. They're not gods. They're a special kind of human that lives a really long time. There's a lot of speculation that she's Marika the Eternal because she lives a long time and things like that. So they're just there's the Newman and the Nox and these guys, right? It's a Tolkien reference. Yeah. So now we can see all of this stuff kind of flowing up, right? And you can see here that this is a tree. This is the Erdtree looking split. And on this side, right? On this side is the land of shadow. And on this side is the lands between. I think that's right, Smoker. I think that it's where the Rune of Death went, and we're gonna see why in a second. Land of Light DLC on the last side, dude. Yeah, so I think that here is the world. This is the land of shadows, right? This is the land of shadows. You can see out here. All these just piles of corpses, and this tree is literally made of corpses. It's made of corpses. You can see all their arms, all their hands falling. But this is the lands between here, right? So she comes down to the land of shadow. and she comes back and she like makes a crack in this and leaves out and like leaves into the
And
lands
so
between.
too was Shadow born.
And so Shadow was born when the light is born, right? That's how it works. The people are buried at the roots. That's exactly right. And so the interesting thing is that the land of Shadow is born when the light comes to be, right? So check it again.
An affair from which gold arose.
So gold arises from this affair, and in the arising of the gold, Shadow is born. Born mentioned.
And so too was Shadow born.
So I think that the Shadow realm was always there. I think it's actually a conceptual analysis that comes from Hegel, in that once the idea of light is there, then its contrast is come to known as absence. And I think that because the reason I say this is because all of the Golden Order and all of the structure of the Golden Order is both Kantian and Hegelian. This is regression, causality, right? All of these things. That's just what they're just like lifted straight from late continental philosophy. And so the ideas here is that this always existed as Shadow, but it was just the norm, because this is where America first touches down in the lands between, is in the land of Shadow. And then I think that the greater will shows her that if you pluck this, whatever this thing is, you can thread together a new set of laws, and you can become the god of this realm, right? And it establishes this kind of alternate realm that is left behind.
What followed was a war unseen.
So what follows from the land of shadows becoming the land of shadow is a war unseen. Unseen, right? Unseen. The war unseen is just something. Do you think we'll see the world of whatever outer god ruled pre-Golden Order? I don't know. Because the greater will still would have probably been ruling, because it was Placidius Acts before. And then when we have the Fell God ruled for a while in between, right? Because then we have the kind of time of the giants, the ice giants, the fire giants, and then they become the trolls. But this war here, this war that's unseen, right? Nobody sees the war occur. But it's happening right there, right? Right there. It's happening right in front of everybody's eyes, but nobody sees it.
One that could never be put to song.
It's a war that could never be put to song, right? So they're making these Kantian kinds of things, right? You can't see it, you can't hear it, you can't touch it, you can't taste it, right? It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's a war that basically exists in the abstract or something, right? And then there's whatever this is just all stabbed up. And then we're about to see that the lion boss is actually a war machine.
A purge without grace.
So it's a purge without grace. Oh wait, I missed the middle line. Hold on.
Purge without grace or honor.
It's a purge without grace or honor. So I think it's both. I think it's supposed to be both, Sabokes. Grace is capitalized. So grace is the kind of guiding light of the greater will. We can't see it. It doesn't say. I would imagine not, though. Hold on. No, it's not. It's not capitalized. There's a transcript and it's not. Yeah. It's hard to say. Honor confirmed. Yeah. So we get. It just doesn't show. Yeah, it just doesn't show. It shows in the transcript though, and it's not. So, but the idea is, of course, that the greater will plucks America from this land of shadows, where Mesmer was probably her only son. You got it. Mesmer was probably her only child at this point. And I think that she makes a kind of philosophical boogeyman out of Mesmer. because she wants to have the power to burn the Erdtree if she needs to. And so, in her leaving, I think probably the Greater Will doesn't have epistemic access to the Land of Shadows. I think probably the Greater Will can't see into the Land of Shadows. It's without grace, right, this land. So there's nowhere to, like, the Greater Will can't see. And so just like how I think in Bloodborne, the lamps are the things that the outer gods look from within and see the world, sites of grace are like that for the Greater Will, that it's wherever the sites of grace are is like as far as the Greater Will can see, right? Because things can hide in the shadows in the land between. Things can hide and and be outside. You can wear the mask. You can reflect grace so that you can't be seen, right? So if grace hits you while you're wearing like Iji's mask, you just become invisible to the Greater Will, right? There are ways to not be seen, right? That's what I think. I think that the poles with Michela's symbol are like the sites of grace. They're going to be called like Michela's, meditations or whatever. And we'll see them coming from far away, right? So if we look in the sky and we look here, we look at all this, right? These are eternal cities. Look at the landscape, right? And so you've got these guys that are coming in, destroying everything. Mesmer is just fucking annihilating stuff, right? He's got all his snakes and all his stuff. But Mesmer is definitely purging the Land of Shadows of everything Crucible related, right? He's purging the Land of Shadows of everything that is related. So I think so. He's eliminating all of the Crucible related stuff, right? So Mesmer is the dude from the original trailer. He looks like that. Oh, what the what's going on, Raiders? What's up, mashed potatoes? What's up, Raiders? I'm Proper Prof. My friends call me Prof. You can call me Prof. There is an underground resistance that calls me Forp. They do charge membership fee. I do not recommend it. Saruchi, how the was Fallout 4? If you aren't following Saruchi already, I highly recommend that you follow Saruchi immediately, dude. She's been working on Fallout 4. She's been crushing it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. What we're doing right now, we're gonna start a no-hit run in a second of Elden Ring. We're just spending some time on the DLC because I got a lot of ideas, but he's DLC only, Bakes, and this is him. He's got this kind of thing going on. And so we've been watching the trailer. Ooh, thanks, Don.
In your mouth is that water bottle. Now, what did I tell you? Always be hydrated.
Always be mother hydrating, dude. Thanks, Donnie. So this is the nameless king of Elden Ring, basically. You're talking about a Volcano Manor? Snack man, dude. Yep. And so over here, Mesmer head's so tiny, dude. So over here, also if you have to raid and run, Raiders, I totally get it. I hope that you stay. We're about to have a great time. We're gonna start a whole new run. You're gonna learn all kinds of cool strats. It's gonna be super fun. Hate when kings just don't have names. Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. And so we get this a purge without grace, right? So what's going on here is that there are aspects of the Crucible both in the Land of Shadows and in the lands between that escape with Marika. And so while Mesmer represents an entire and complete hatred for the Crucible, Micha represents a complete and total acceptance of the Crucible, right? Dude, no worries. I'm gonna post it and I'll send it to you, Saruch. I'm gonna post the whole clip like later tonight.
The tyranny of Mesmer's flame.
It's the tyranny of Mesmer's flame. If you look here, this is one of those flags. One of those flags for like Commander Niall and things like that. Yeah, it's the king. Yeah, for sure. And if you look here, this is a Death Maiden like Fia with this super cool kind of Dark Souls 3 Ember Ashy type. Yeah, doesn't it look like that? It's got this kind of like rallying thing, right? So everything's burning. And so like Yeah, I mean, it just has that vibe, right? But the basic idea is that Mesmer is a tyrant in the Land of Shadows, right? He has ultimate kind of control. He does whatever he wants, right? It's a tyranny. And then we get this. Hold on, we gotta back this up for a sec. You should unmask. No mask, dude. Okay. So here we get another one of these. This is not the same one. This is not the same one. I agree. It looks like the rot magic chick. This is a different one. This is a different kind of war machine here. And so these things are set up not as kind of celebratory functions, but these are shouldn't read that, dude. These are war machines. Watch this. I wish I could. Okay, so here we get a really cool shot here. Right, so you can see it's against Mesmer. It's fighting Mesmer, this thing, right? And this all gives me like further credence to my big view, which is to say that as players in FromSoft games, we don't actually experience the canon events. We just experience kind of an alternate universe where the canon events don't matter, to get a glimpse of what the canon events would have been like if time would have just run its course without us. And so we were thinking of this thing as being kind of some further aspect of the Crucible already. But this story is not just like the banishing of the Crucibles and the Omens and the lands between. I know, I love Summer. But it's also this kind of extra war between the thing that can burn the tree, which is the original tree, the Crucible, and, you know, the aspects of the Crucible which are fighting desperately to defend their lands, right? Desperately to defend their land. This here is a new type of fire. There is no fire like this. There is no fire like this. With this kind of thorny looking type thing. But he definitely is a son of Radagon. Definitely a son of Radagon. And so here's the thing. Something like that. It's some kind of black flame adjacent thing. I don't know it, Frank. I don't know what it is. Whatever this is can kill gods and burn trees, right? And so this looks like a son of Radagon to me, and not necessarily a child of Marika. It's some kind of thorn sorcery, but the thorn sorcery that we have right now is totally different than this. It's a blood flame, the kind that we have now. And this won't be a blood flame. I think so, Shabara. I think that's right. I think that there's more to Radagon than meets the eye, right? And I think that Radagon, what's up, Juicy? New DLC trailer for Elden Ring dropped. I think that that what we're looking at here is the son of Radagon and the Glomide Queen. And it might turn out that actually Marika is the Glomide Queen, and that Marika raised the Godskins. Yeah, so he's always been Marika, never been a thing on his own, that's right. And all of their children have afflictions. So here's the thing. A lot of people think that Radagon has never been real, and it's just a veil of Marika. But Radagon comes to the lands between a champion. He comes with a kind of background, a champion of war. When the Turtle Pope tells us about Radagon, he says that Renala married Radagon, a champion, and then when Radagon leaves to marry Marika, that the champion breaks her heart and things. And so we've got this really interesting kind of thing going on, right? Where maybe, just maybe, Marika has been playing this Radagon character and siring children all over the place. And so when Mesmer says mother, he's not talking about Marika. It just seemed like he was talking about Marika. But really, he's talking about the formless mother. And I think that Radagon, with his giant's blood, plus the formless mother, gives us this special new kind of incantation. And so when he says like, "Mother, I've done these things," when we see the statues of America, quote unquote, here, I don't think they might not be statues of America. They might be statues of whoever his mother is with Radagon. And so it might be that really Radagon has sired all of the children that are like really important, right? So that would be Radagon siring Ronnie, Rykard, Radon, Melania, Micha, and Mesmer. And so I think they're throwing us off the trail with the M's. I think that the greater will calls Radagon to America, kind of the other way around. And so America touches base in the lands, but first in the land of shadows, and then she comes out and she comes to the lands between. And I think that while she's there, she becomes Radagon and has Mesmer as a father. And whoever Mesmer's mother is what we're going to find out, because whoever Mesmer's mother is the kind of alternate version of America, right? These are just like the kind of poles in near the giants. This is really cool because the ashes are flowing up towards this tree, right? It's kind of the kind of gravity doesn't make sense or something. And you can see all of it is just surrounding here. It's all as the stuff like disintegrates and decays. Yeah, I think it's Radagon and the Formless Mother. Because he addresses her as mother strictly, right? And I think that's supposed to be our cue. Because that's what that fire looks like. And then we get the second half.
And so kindly Micha would abandon everything. His golden flesh, his blinding strength, even his fate.
So Micha abandons everything. He abandons his flesh, his strength, and his fate. And when they say "and his fate," we get this picture of what looks like Saint Trina being called as a kind of like as in the same way as Tarnish. And so this is a strange Old English version of the adverb where kindly Micha is the same as saying kind Micha. So Micha the kindly is another way of saying it, because he's Micha the kind. It's just an old, strange way of saying it. So he's not actually adverbially fying in the kindly sense. He is the kindly. It's to talk about him as a character trait of action, basically.
But we are not deterred.
And so it says, we're not deterred. We're not deterred. Yeah, so his power is being his love. He can make people fall in love with him.
We choose to follow.
So the followers of Micha are not deterred. They choose to follow Micha into this thing that he has going on, right? It's a choice. This is one of the only times in all of Elden Ring that it sounds like anybody is making a quote-unquote choice. It's like the only time ever. What will you choose?
Will you walk with us?
So that's my take. That's my big take. That's my big thing. I think that it's Radagon and the Formless Mother, and I think that we are going to see some really fucking cool, interesting stuff. The GTA 6 trailer. Okay, I have to pee real quick before we officially